All right. Well, I finally got down to the basement, and I know you probably can't see the water, but I got more water in here than I did the other day. It hasn't rained that much, so I started thinking that I've got some plumbing leaking, and it looks pretty bad down here. It looks pretty bad. This mud wasn't here when I was overseas and I had the inspection done. The guy crawled down here and took some pictures, and he said that there was a concrete slab, and there actually is up underneath all this mud. It's kind of washed down from up in these areas. I was down here the other day and noticed that they had some of this like acoustic tile that was stapled up underneath the floor joist, and it was wet. So the only thing it was doing was starting to rot the bottom of the floor out. So I went ahead and removed everything. And then once I get everything leveled and dry, then I'll figure something else up. I'd actually considered almost one of those solar air heaters that you've seen online that people have been making, mainly to see if I can circulate warm air in the basement year round. It doesn't have to really, I'm not trying to heat the basement per se. I'm just trying to actually air movement down here, but a little bit warmer air, so I'm not contributing to any condensation and things like that, which would cause another moisture problem. But I have to admit, one thing that was a positive was I don't think that leveling this house is going to be nearly as bad as I actually thought, even though maybe I'm not sure what the pictures are going to look like. But I don't think it's actually going to be all that bad. Now I think I figured out where the water's coming from. I actually think I have a sink in the kitchen that the drain is actually leaking like most of the water out. So the only thing I'm doing is when I'm washing dishes or things like that, it's actually just going up under the house. So that's why I keep getting more and more water down here, and things are shifting even more and more. So I got to address the water problem, and it turns out that up underneath the sink, back up over here, up under where the kitchen's at, and I'm not sure exactly how much. Boy, there's some nasty looking spiders and stuff down here. It's too narrow back there, and I really can't see. First of all, I'm old and my eyesight is poor, but when I ran the water from the sink and crawled down here, I couldn't see anything, but I could hear it, and it sounded like it was just pouring onto the ground. It didn't sound like it was in the pipes. It sounded like it was hitting the ground. So I went up in there, opened up the sink, pulled back the rotted out bottom of the cabinet, and the subfloor underneath is rotted also. And because it's such a skinny place back there that's wet and creepy, and I've already run across a couple of snakes. I'm going to post a picture of a snake that I had found yesterday. Maybe somebody can help me identify it. The best I can come up with is it's an endangered snake up here in this area, and it's considered highly venomous. Not a very big snake, but you know, when you're laying down on your back crawling around in the dark, it don't have to be very big for it to get your attention. So I think that that's my problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do what I didn't want to do, since I have to live in this house, is I'm going to go ahead and have to take the kitchen cabinets out, remove the subfloor underneath where it's rotted anyway, and then I can address the plumbing issue from the top, or at least have a better idea of how to plan it out, because it looks pretty rough. It's been patched on a number of times over the years. I mean, a bunch of times. And let me see if I can get a better shot over here. This is wet. This is where it's leaking from the wax ring up underneath the toilet. That and the cracked bowl. This leaking underneath the toilet and then leaking down below. That's underneath the bathroom toilet. So I keep the toilet locked in, so I'm not adding any more than I have to. But, I'm sure the pictures is going to be pretty poor. The white line is coming from the vanity, and I believe the other big line coming straight down is the shower. And that black horizontal pipe where that white PVC is tying into, I believe, comes from the laundry area for the utility for the washer drain. And there's some stuff back there. It looks like it's got some insulation on it. And if I'm not mistaken, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what that is. Unless that's some type of a vent pipe. I do not have a clue what that is. And I need to get some of this damaged wood, and then behind that concrete wall over there, I really can't get to it. I have to go to it from the other side of this pier, and this wall is where the kitchen ties in, and that's where I can hear it pouring on the ground. And because it's so wet, and because I've already run across a few strange looking critters down here, I'm not really willing to crawl back up underneath the house that keeps creaking and shifting. I can hear it shifting at night, actually. It's wet down here, and I'm adding to it, so it's got to be coming from the sink. So I'll work on that from the top. But honestly, I don't think that addressing the pier situation here, I think the piers are actually, once I get it dry down here, I think the ground will stabilize enough that I can actually jack it up and shim it enough, and it'll probably stay that way for a period of time if I can keep the moisture and the water out from inside the basement. And then over time, I can start dragging. I think I got a line on a dumpster today, finally. That's the reason why I've been dragging this out so long, is I'm in a small town, and I got to have something to do. And unfortunately, right now, I don't have a truck. I'm looking for one. So I can't just be pulling all this stuff out and just piling it up in the yard. I mean, I guess I could. The city's already said that that's my property. I can do what I want with it. I just don't want to come across as being a bad neighbor. So I think I found a company that'll hook me up with a 4-yard residential dumpster that there's no contract. I can keep it month to month with either a weekly dump or bi-monthly. So they're trying to locate me a dumpster and make sure that it's okay with the guys that are on the route, that they can handle the extra material. Cross our fingers, I'll get something here very soon, and then I can start doing a little bit more demo work. I've been doing it very small and trying to bag everything up in contractor bags, and that's just not going to work. But I have to address this water issue before I do anything. I can't really work on the inside of the house. There's no sense in trying to build something if you got a foundation that's not stable. And I can't really fix the foundation until I address the water issue, because it's changing dramatically over the weeks. It just keeps getting worse. So, and the water down here, like I said, there's more water down here, and it's soupier than it was the other day. So, and it hasn't rained that much. And I fixed all the gutters around the house, so I'm getting the majority of the water away from the house now. And with the amount of rain that we've had, this is coming from somewhere else. So I think it's coming from the sink and or shower, or even the vanity. But yeah, earlier I couldn't see. I need to update my prescription on my glasses, and then the light off this camera is not enough. I need to get a better spotlight that can shine some light back there. And then once it's dry, I can crawl back there. But instead of me waiting for that, I'm going to do it from the top. Cabinets are rotted out at the bottom anyway. The dishwasher is broken, the microwave is broken, and the stove has a broken burner on it. And I've already bought new appliances, so all that stuff's going to come out. Nothing worth saving. And then I can tear the floor up, and then I can work on it from the top and be far more convenient, a lot safer. That's where I'm at. And we'll pick this up when I start tearing out the kitchen cabinets. So stay tuned. Here's a video of that snake that I found the other day. If someone knows what kind of snake this is, if they could leave it in the comment section, I'd be grateful. Take care.